Hello, once again, everyone. This is Kev bringing it to you raw once again on a Monday night. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and thank you once again for coming here. And as you walk in, or if you happen to catch the thumbnail when this broadcast is uploaded forever and ever, go ahead and hit that like button. And if it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. But be very aware of what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. There is going to be some harsh language here and maybe some images that are not for children. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. And also, I'm also aware of the feedback this microphone is getting. So, hey, got to get some new equipment. But, since Christmas is coming up, got to look out for the kid first. So, what can help with that? Cash apps and super chats if it's an issue to you. But if you just like hearing my voice through this horrible feedback, then that's cool too because that shows that y'all are here to listen to what I have to say anyway. So there we go. Uh, yeah. So who is my first comment? Toya the tutor. What's going on? Yeah. You have the first one to say anything. So it's quite the honor. So the topic for tonight is black people in the damned goalpost. Oh, yeah. When I say this shit, when I talk off the top of my head, it's 3 nights in a row, and it really takes a lot of thought processing to come up with even like a quarter of the shit that I say, cause it like I have to understand this. Not being a certified expert, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it real. You have to pull from your life experience, and that's just what the facts are. I mean, and for most of you who watch us in this space and on the outskirts of this space, and the hater space and the dusty nigga factory space, and you know all kinds of other spaces. Uh, that's mostly what these content creators do. They pull from their life experiences. And I would have to say, for the most part, there is nothing wrong with that. You have to understand people when you do these kinds of things. You have to understand that most of them aren't really experts either, certified experts at least. But everyone, at least to a degree and extent, is an expert in life. I mean, if you made it at least past, I would say 21 years, you got a good chance of being called one of those, depending on excuse me, your mentality and your everyday judgments as far as your decision making. Yeah. And in my expert opinion, I feel like that does count for something. To be able to make it from day to day without killing yourself. Because we live in this old crazy ass, fucked up world where we run across many mentalities that, often have us come up with these question marks like, what the fuck? This whole what the fuck dynamic to a lot of these conversations. And here's the most basic underlying thing. It always goes back to WS. How we grew up in it, and the fact of the matter is that we always look for ways to not take a difference of opinion seriously, especially when it comes from another black person, whether we want to admit it or not. And what we have a tendency to do is uh, we try to negotiate our way, kind of a psychological negotiation, our way out of listening to the person on the opposing side. Now, there are many names for this. I think negotiation is a psychology term that they use for this, but more of a layman's term, more of a social media terminology, and more of a conversational piece is um, that would be called moving the goalpost. Saying when people start throwing out shit that this is trying to make up a reason why you're saying it rather than the reason you are saying it, the real authentic reason. Something like you're just saying that because you're old. That's a goalpost move. You're just saying that because you're a pick me. Ad hominems, believe it or not, are goalpost moves. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to give you something else to overcome that doesn't have anything to do really with the matter at hand. Like, see, a lot of these conversations could be over in 2 to 5 minutes. A lot of them could be, but it has to take a level of agreement and a level of good common sense for both sides to admit that it is what it is. Let's just move forward. But for some reason, we don't get a lot of that. That's boring. Yeah, I have to admit that myself. This it's a little boring to be reasonable 100% of the time. But by the same token, it's also crazy to be the other way 100% of the time. Being adversarial because a person doesn't agree with you instead of focusing on the subject at hand. See, when people move the goalposts, they're not experts in the thing that they're trying to debate. See, with me, I'm not going to let too many things get by me unless I just don't fucking care. Because some of you are beyond hope. Now, with my experiences in this space, I would say that I was pretty lucky to come across some intelligent people. I would say I don't have a total disdain for my people. You know, just maybe not a rough 95%. But people from the other 5% are showing up. It is it's a cool thing because um, when you have people look for a certain kind of content, then you could get like minds together. Now that's not always good, but for a cooperative, straightforward conversation, I think you have a better chance getting that here on this channel and on the habitual alliance steppers channels than any of the other spaces. Level headed, not creating beef, fun, informative conversations. Shout out to Juan G's. Because fighting and yelling and insults, that may be fun to look at for the short term. But if you're going to do that, you cannot complain about what others aren't doing, because very well it can turn around to you and someone could say, hey, well, where you're like this, why are you complaining about other people being like that? You know, the second you start to point out the hypocrisy, here comes that goalpost move. Well, it's because it's because they are sitting up here and berating our women, and and berating black people because no one's ever gonna Like very few black people that have platforms are gonna consistently take up for black men. Very few platforms, and I don't suggest anyone take up for the wrong in black men. Hold black men accountable when we are wrong, when we are blatantly wrong. There's no excuses for that. But just for any and everything, like, say for instance, I ain't got nothing to do with what people are up in Chicago are doing, as far as how they're procreating and, you know, so why should I spread a positive message, when you got stuff like that happening? So I'm not responsible for it. It is what it is. Well, you not telling these niggas not to get us pregnant. I mean, I've heard some crazy shit. I've heard crazy shit being on social media, and this is really for me. It's been going on since I don't know 2011 when all the conspiracy theory stuff was going on YouTube. All the crazy logic out there. See, people use this moving the goalpost thing because they can't win arguments. They can't win debates. They can't win discussions. So they start, reaching in their pocket and coming up with their reality and their truth. Let me give you an example. Um, for the umpteenth time, someone posted about CeeLo Green and what he had to say about the kind of culture that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion is promoting, and it's gaining the momentum. And I guess I did a video on it a few months back when it first happened. But I also added in one fact that people they seem to keep leaving out when they make these posts about CeeLo Green. The fact that he apologized for saying those things. This is why I say, hey, you know what? If you're gonna say something, at least stand on it. At least stand on it. Be sure about what you're gonna say and stand on it forever. Make sure you don't have to apologize. And then, you got that person. This is the person I decided to pick on because, if I decide to have a back and forth with somebody or ask a question, I'm picking on them. It's not that I want to know what the thought process is here because I want to learn and maybe you can teach me something. No, is that I'm picking on you. But, once again, someone brings up the fact that all these gangster rappers influencing these black dudes to kill each other and this the male rappers have never been accountable, but he wants to say stuff about what these women are doing. Black girl magic stuff like that. And I was like, well, that's not accurate. Black male rappers, especially, have always been held accountable under harsher scrutinies. You had politicians talking about banning Two Live Crew. You had NWA getting arrested. You had Rick Ross losing endorsements for lyrics. All this stuff. And there's a lot more. There's way more than that. Hey, the baby. The baby is one of the biggest examples. Yet and still, you still got this complaint from most of our people. Whenever someone says something about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, it's boo hoo. Everybody's always trying to tell black women how to behave and all this other crap. So this person said that male rappers aren't ever held accountable, and I said that is completely inaccurate. Male rappers have always been held accountable, no matter what. And I even brought up those examples. And the she turned around. Yeah, this is a she. And this is something I'm not going to go back and forth with a white person. I'll give you that clue as to what the ethnicity is. I don't go back and forth with white people or anything. I mean, decidedly speaking, you don't know if you are a Caucasian person. I'm going to go and first assume that you don't know what's best for black people. So let's just get that old ideal out the way. It's they operate on a different thought process, and a lot of that shit is weird and stupid. So she says, well, the only way to hold them accountable is if that everyone stops listening to them, and their money will dry up, and it just cut them off completely. That's how you hold them accountable. I was like, that is not fucking possible. Number one. Number two, no one's chasing Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion off stage with handcuffs and guns. That's not happening. And number three, black male rappers have always been held accountable. You can't move a goalpost like that. You can't. Okay, I'm gonna dismiss this guy's evidence, and I do it big. I do links, articles, so you can't deny the information that I'm giving you, because a lot of people pull things out of their ass and expect it to be like the talking point that wins the entire discussion, and that does go on a lot in these spaces. That does go on a lot. People pulling shit out their ass and holding it in their hand, and even though it's a stinky pile of shit, they think that's going to be their smoking gun in winning the debate. And that pile of shit was, everybody got to stop listening to these rappers. 100% everyone. In order for them to finally be held accountable. I said, okay, and this is why niggas are giving up on you. Even the niggas now. This is why you have a lot of sensible black people saying, fuck it. If this is the dumbass mentality that I gotta deal with, fuck that shit. I'm not doing this anymore. This goalpost moving. Because clearly everybody thinks that everything happened in 2020 and 2021, that the 20th century, 1999 on back at least 40 years doesn't count, because because people want to stay in their own little personal bubble and just think what they want to think, because that's more comfortable. Having to admit you're wrong about anything is like a knife in their damn private parts. Shout out to the Village Arsonist TV. So they do this little goalpost. So what have you wrong? So what have you wrong? You think people are gonna declare you a fucking idiot forever? Oh, forever an idiot. We'll give you the crown. Like, for real, it takes a really big person. Well, I grew up in a time where we had a little bit more common sense and try to make people more centered. We grew up to thinking that it takes a big man or a big person. Because, big woman, I'm sorry, that doesn't sound good at all. It takes a big person to admit when they're wrong. We used to do that in the black community. Hey, they admitted they wrong. Hey, now let's all learn and grow and take it from here. Excuse me. Now, we only afford that luxury to people like Joe Biden. I'm sorry, now give me your vote. Or you ain't black. You got motherfuckers all over the place. It takes a big man to admit, after all those years of writing policies that disproportionately affected the black community, to admit that he was wrong. And I heard that half-hearted shit. That motherfucker struggled to get that shit out of his mouth. But I ain't gonna make this a bashing Joe Biden. Even though it's easy. Oh, that's another goalpost. That man, them goalposts been all over the place with that. All because we don't want to admit that maybe we're a little inaccurate. Ain't nothing wrong with admitting you're wrong. Nothing's wrong. with admitting you're wrong when you are wrong. Not when you're forced to be in a position and trying to pacify somebody, because that shit right there, that's like swallowing a razor blade. Oh man, okay, I'm wrong. You're right. Okay, them people. You got them people that's like that. That won't yield at the goalpost. Like the motherfuckers got Herculean strength. A goalpost is a heavy fucking thing. Yeah, just ain't nobody really moving physically. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. This shit, the shit makes it almost makes the conversations null and void. It's like, what's the point? Especially like when they're being idiots about it. Usually, the goalpost could be seen as the straw man argument. You know, the straw man argument, and people know what a straw man is. Trying to take you off your main point because it's obviously making the other person more uncomfortable. Post move. Now we got to behave because other groups of people are looking. Get the fuck out of here. Niggas always embarrassing each other. I mean, shit, you should be, and I've said this before, you should be embarrassed for yourselves. Black people need to learn how to re-dignify ourselves for our own race and not do this dog and pony show shit. Yeah. Just like saying like something is simple, we always try. Like I don't like saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm not trying to drag the conversation here," because that makes it sound like that I'm doing my content, based on what other people feel. I do it for you guys, but this is a lot of this is based on my perspective. Most of it, in fact. Another goalpost move. Well, we never implied that. When black men say we never implied that you should wear hair weave. We actually like natural hair. Stuff like that. We like natural hair, not because we want to the textures and we know what shampoos you girls should use or anything like that. That's something that's supposed to be instilled in you by your mother. Seriously, ain't no better teacher to appreciate a black woman's blackness than another black woman, her mother. Shouldn't be, at least. But a lot of that has not been happening, now has it? Like I said, you're the best and the greatest when you're the best and the greatest. But when you're not the best and the greatest, you are the absolute fucking worst. Shit. Shit. Somebody tried to tell y'all about bonnets a few months ago. I see more bonnets than ever now. Like seriously, like I say this can't be real. See if I go out in public with my boxers and wife beater and shit. I used to talk about them niggas too. Shit. Say don't nobody want to see this. Nigga, wash your face or something. Yeah, instead of them saying stuff like, "Hey, you know what? This does look kind of tragically ghetto." It became stereotyping. And all of a sudden, you move that goalpost to the stereotype field. You're being stereotyped. You're being embarrassed because Monique got on social media and said, "Don't be wearing them bonnets in public. If you want to call yourself as a queen, you carry yourself with royalty." carry yourself as such. Now everybody want to wear some bonnets. Motherfucker, I'm telling you, bonnet manufacturers, they are cashing in right now. And I'm not here to complain about bonnets. I'm just saying, I see the foolishness. You know, I like beautiful black women. I love them. But, they got to be beautiful in order for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that a lot of men agree with that. You got to be beautiful first. Shit. Hell. Like I said, if I gain like 300 pounds, like within the next 2 years, I do not expect a positive reaction. And I will not move the goalpost when you say I'm out of shape, that I'm unhealthy. I'm not going to say, hey, well, you got to accept me for me because my feelings, and I'm going to write a letter. God damn it. Yeah, it's unhealthy is unhealthy. First of all, let me tell you something about these conversations. No one has to agree with you. No one owes you anything, including agreement in a conversation. No one owes you that. I know it's tough to listen to. I know it's tough. That maybe that's why that guy told me that I was tough to listen to that day. Because I'm not going to filter it for you so it can sound easier. You have to learn how to get through a damn conversation. You can move all the goalposts in the world, but if it ain't right, it ain't right. You just wrong. You can respectfully bow out and say, let's agree to disagree. Now, if someone keeps twisting the knife, then just like, look, fuck all that. I'm chilling. If they're disrespectful, you have the right to respond. But my suggestion is, if you're wrong, immediately damage control it and pull out. There is no need to sit there and move this goalpost here, move this goalpost there. It's meaningless bullshit. Cortez Smith, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Knowledgeable King Jr. Have you seen that white boy who went in on a date with Cynthia G diss her? Well, I just want to see how much of the sisterhood actually mentions that, because I did partially watch O'Shea's video on that, but I didn't finish it. I mean, it's not like I'm about to pull out the confetti and start celebrating that shit. I mean, and if it is truly authentic, the bitch had it coming. I mean, it's but she's probably got about 3 or 4 videos in the Queen, ready to fire off about black men, because that's what she does. That's what her channel is based on. Her content is based on black men. It's not the betterment of black people. It's not. That bullshit clearly isn't. If you don't think my channel is about that, I'm way closer to that shit than she is. Shoot, I don't care. It's like, if that, but at the end of the day, still with them, with those pale people, with white folks, that's something that should never ever surprise a black person, a white person talking about them. That should never ever surprise you, based on the history and the context of the culture that we live in, that we have lived in. Now, if he tried to do it like he for the brothers, because O'Shea was like, oh, he wasn't a white boy that sound like he grew up around black people. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the Quentin Tarantinos. I mean, Quentin Tarantino made some good films, but he talked that shit like that. I mean, regardless of all of that, you shouldn't allow, even when she had Brian, on her platform disparaging black men, which there was not a monumental response from black women saying that shit was fucked up. There were some that said that. But hey, you know that. But see, when they say stuff like that, they grow their viewerships many times over, which gives rise to an alarming fact that a lot of our community is fucked up. You know, we like the negative. You know, there you know, it was said that there would be days like this when bad would seem good and good would seem bad. Now that's no excuse. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna more so cleave to my race. I'm not gonna celebrate this white guy coming out of whatever hole that he came from and going for Cynthia G. Because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Cynthia G. I'm better than her. You know, I would never say anything like, "Let's go to war to these bitches." When you find out it's a girl, abort that bitch. And if she don't want, and then like, cause what they're giving the impression is that we want them dead. We just want to sexually control them. You know, we want to touch their children. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. And if you're sitting up there, uh, if you're a black man and you're sitting up there trying to deny it, that actually happens, and you know you're a scared little man. I don't know what to say for you. But y'all must got them Chirac bitches withholding pussy if y'all don't say what they want y'all to say. It's what it is. What it is. Y'all know where y'all bread and butter at. I have heard it all, and I mean, like I know that as far as you know, could let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question, and your answer probably is going to prove my point anyway. Say you had 30 of the world's greatest minds, and all of them were black. All of them were black. The world's greatest minds. Every one of their conclusions was a smart conclusion that led to productivity and overall improvement of life. Those 30 people get together on an island and convene and meet to share their ideas. Do you believe that all 30 of those people can stay positive, agreeable, without any angst or animosity to a severe level toward another person in there? Yeah. And even with that, I wouldn't righteously let a white person come in and disparage us. It's just like when they say stuff like, when we start expressing, you know, our issues with whoever. It's like when they say the cops should be killing us. Even those clubhouse uh, clips that everybody spreads around, and you know do the "I told you what that's what these bitches think" video. Even with that, even with that, now you can make the choice not to deal with them bitches. Just don't. That's what a lot of these little guys say. These little douchebags, these little simps. Just don't deal with them. Yeah, but it's pretty obvious they don't want to stop dealing with us. I mean, they can't stop talking about black men. They still want their black sausage. All these divestors. I mean, shit. From the way it looks, the white boys they do believe that they're only being used for access to generational wealth. It's all about them being white. Maybe this was this, and it's like I didn't watch what he actually said. I heard it was on Water Sniper's channel. I didn't hear what he said, but I don't really care either. Dude, white, dude, Caucasian, white. We gonna be proud of that. Even when in the Facebook group there used to be different ethnicities of people show up to disparage black men. And the black women in the group used to jump on their side easily. And them simps, they used to bow out, man, these niggas, man. Even with that, even with that, even with that, I still wouldn't be happy about another race of people, another group coming in to disparage us. So I want that to be a clear understanding. I'm better than any of them fools over there. As a person, some of them got production value. I would say, I have to give props where props are supposed to be placed. But my hope is y'all understand that you have to be better too. Knowledgeable King Judah, I watched that shit. It was funny. Like I said, it's just desserts. I mean, the bitch had it coming. It's okay to think it's funny. It's okay to believe it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe later I will watch it just out of curiosity. But I won't be that amused. What's up, Shaka Nulu? What's going on? Shaka Nulu. Yeah. What more is there to say about moving the goalpost? Yeah, just be ready for stuff like that when you're in a conversation. I challenge you to challenge yourselves. Don't let people take you out of your cool. It's one of the hardest things to do when someone's disrespecting you. When they want to, and then a lot of people in this space, especially some of the younger ones, the more millennial, closer to Generation Z millennials, a lot of them, they go there with that disrespect. They disrespect you on whatever level they can. But I mean, and I'm not asking y'all to be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. But what I'm saying is, I'm challenging you because I mean, I've had a lot of instances to where I had to deal with this, and I've become a master of it. Don't let people drag you out of your cool. Your cool is what makes you better than everyone else. I heard two grown men yelling at each other on a female show. Because they let each other get each other out of each other's cool. That was redundant speech. But they were yelling at each other. One of them was over 40, the other one was over 50. I was like, gentlemen. I mean, I wasn't on that panel. I'm not finna get in the middle of shit like that. But I'm like, God damn. Seriously? I mean, I was somewhat amused. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that good about who those two men were. Those two grown ass men. But like, that's a bad look for black men. Yelling through a Wi-Fi connection. I would say that is more reserved for the women. How much yelling? I don't care how much I yell. I can't hurt you. I can't hurt you yelling. Unless you break down and cry, and that shit'll be funny. And I'll record that shit somewhere and put it on repeat. Oh man, why you yelling at me, man? And I hope to never hear a man break down like that on this platform. especially ones I don't like. I mean, I do have those people that are like that. I try not to give them too much energy, but there is a discrepancy. It's a discrepancy when I see brothers do that shit. What are you yelling for? I got in a shouting match one time with someone. Some guy was being very disrespectful to Roger, and Roger's a habitual line stepper. You don't do that fuck ass shit. And Roger, like I said, right, it ain't like Roger can't handle himself. I really tried to not really not do that, but dude kept going. So, shoot, nigga just kind of cut loose. Hey, I had to tell him, man, shut your. I mean, like that's been squashed since then. That's been squashed since then. I mean, I'm not mad at that. That was a couple years back actually. Yeah, it was a couple years back, almost a couple years back. Yeah, but that's what I want y'all to do, man. Just try not to let people get you out of your cool because, I mean, they say how they feel about you every day. You should be used to it. Shakanulu, that's where they really go to get their shit off at black men women's panels. And I mean, like, shoot, I'm proud. I'm proud of women to be able to get black men together to iron out their differences in whatever manner. Got to give props to the females on that one. I would never say that the only reason why men go on female programs is to see how much control they can get a pussy. When they can't when they can't seemingly get the external control in real life, or to try to beg like Keith Sweat. I ain't saying all that. What I'm saying is, I'm glad that females are able to get males to congregate and talk out and iron out their differences. That's a cold talent right there. You know, as much as a lot of these dudes say some of the shit that they say about females being in the space, they be some of the first ones lined up. And like I said, that's very intelligent on the females' parts, using their power and their prowess as females, as women, as the representations of the opposite sex. Shout out to the breakdown, a woman's perspective. But I don't believe that was the panel where those two guys. No, that wasn't the. I mean, they've had some stuff happen on their program, but I wasn't talking about the breakdown. Even though that a lot of that logic does apply to them. Yeah. About the use of intelligence to make sure that your program is furthered. But the way they were yelling at each other, I'm like, wow. It's like, what's going to be the resolution to all of this? And the other thing I was thinking is, it must have been some goalpost moving. Somebody must have moved the goalposts. So, I mean, it's up to y'all. Y'all grown ass people. I'm just saying, I just want to challenge y'all to keep you cool with people. Don't let them talk you out of your cool. Cause I mean, like, it, everybody says this shit like, oh, don't let them control your emotions. But at the same time, the person that says that never checks the person being the piece of shit. Like, why don't you go say something to the motherfucker and see what he say to you? Or she, see what she says to you. Yep. That might be the goalpost. It might stay in position for them. Oh man, I just don't think that. Just go ahead and be the bigger person. No, 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 no bigger person. I want you to put you in my situation. I want you to kind of see this from my shoes. Go say something to him. No, I mean, I don't want to be. I mean, what's gonna change over there? Why you think you come over here and change me? Shit, I feel I'm right. Man, people are a trip though. Anyway, yep. Topic for tonight: black people and that damn goalpost. Why can't we as black people admit when we're wrong? And a lot of people, the first person that's probably gonna say, "I can," yeah, yeah, it's you. You probably be the main one. You know what they do? They try to turn it around. Maybe it's you that can't admit you wrong. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm perfect. Yeah, you figured it out. Thank you. I am so perfect. I'm so perfect. I ask questions. If I was perfect, I'd already know the answer. Even though I already know the answer for some of you. Okay, I mean, but seriously, like since I asked the question, why is it that the majority of black people can't admit we're wrong? When it's like even when we stand next to you and you do the shit that you're being charged with, and being charged doesn't mean a court of law. It's just that someone is. It means that you're just basically accused of being such or doing such. Even when you're clearly in plain view doing it, you'll still want to admit you're wrong. You will move that goalpost all over the place. Yeah, but maybe I have you know, I got intelligent people watching, so you're not like that. I don't know, maybe one or two of you, depending on who's watching. But nobody in the chat. I don't know, but just to say that, yeah, if you want a productive conversation, why do you promote the bad conversations? But anyway, hmm, yeah. Anyway, just probably just not gonna stay with this one too long. It's you know, not it like if I continue to talk about this seems like it's finger shaking. I'm shaking a finger at you. Learn how to have some common sense, damn it. Showing my age basically. Yeah, I went on Roger's panel the other day, and no, not the other day. That was today actually. I went on Roger's panel today, and I had to make this point. I'll just sit here and talk about it for a second. Um, that men usually, when a father is present on a consistent basis, men are usually raised by their fathers to become husbands and dads. The problem with a lot of these females is they haven't been trained. A lot of them. Sorry. They haven't been trained to be wives. They were trained to be independent, especially of male decision, especially in this community of black male decision. So they can really decide what direction their life takes instead of taking it in a way that was more trainable, more of a trained way of life for men. Everything that we have done up when we have a sensible strong male presence, everything that we have been trained to do has been trained and groomed us to be husbands and dads. Taking out the trash, you know uh being even if you were being forced, your dad dragging you into his various projects around the house like my dad did. I learned a lot of stuff watching my dad. But what you have is, you have that with the males, but You don't have that with the females because they don't even want they want to teach their sons to respect women, but they don't want to teach their daughters to respect men. They ain't even got that now. When these boys grow up, they're trained to be husbands and they're trained to be fathers. They're looking for a woman that's trained to be a wife, and there are not many of them there. So what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to stay, wait around? Cause it's like this. It's like this. There's a huge disparity in women who are just waiting around for a man to sweep them off their feet and give them a ring, and the ones of them, those who don't have children. There's a huge disparity. So you can't really ask these brothers to choose in favor of something that is against their own interest. Mm. You can't sit there and say that they should be choosing you based on whatever reason besides the fact that you got two and three kids. You can't ask brothers to do that. And because of that, you got a nation of people that are against us, a nation of women. But continue to say fuck them. That's all I gotta say. Continue to say fuck them. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm getting tired. So, yeah, this is a shorter than usual broadcast. Probably going to. I got family coming in town next week. So next weekend. So, probably gonna be one of those 2 out of 3 deals. Like I probably have to cancel one of the shows. So just going to prepare you guys for that. But whatever reasons that you have for listening to this channel, I hope they are good reasons, and I really appreciate all of your support and continuing to watch me from week to week and all that other good stuff. So be bringing you some good stuff this week, and stick around. So that's it for me and black people in the damn goalpost. Just just so you'll understand and have more clarity that a lot of these things are being noticed, and you can't always get mad and throw a shit fit when it's pointed out because we're noticing. So anyway, that's it for me, and that's it for this broadcast. Thank you guys for watching once again. This is Kev, and this has been Black Men Being Brutally Honest. On another Monday night, long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Till next time.